Hey everyone. So back with a few updates, and what I've been doing for the past couple of hours is working to get the bot to train against itself. Um, so kind of the idea for this actually came from when I was adding in the stat boost code as an input into the network. And basically what I was seeing in the benchmarks for it was that it was learning at a similar rate to what it had been doing previously. And it kind of raised this question in my mind of, is it worth including these as inputs? Or is this just going to slow down and potentially hinder the training process and actually make the bot worse? And so, the way I've been doing my testing for this is basically train it for a set amount of time, run some performance tests on it. In this case, I've typically been doing 200 tests against the simple Hero 6 player, and then just measure the win rate. Now, I think that can continue to work, but I kind of had the idea of what if I could just match up the bots head to head against each other, and let's say make two versions of the bot, one that has the stat boost code put into it as an input, and one that does not have the stat boost code put into it. And I just have them train against each other for something like 200,000 steps, and then do performance tests against each other for 200 games. Would the results of that performance testing show definitively it's beneficial to have this in as an input to the bot, or it's not beneficial? And I realized actually that's like pretty similar to kind of what some of the most popular bots out there like Adversarial are doing. So for those of you, I'm sure a lot of people have heard about this, but for those of you who haven't, Adversarial was a program that basically learned how to play Go, chess, and shogi at levels that are beyond human, and it can beat like world champions at these games. And one technique that they use is like self play. I think I've also heard it called like adversarial learning. Um, don't quote me on that, but basically the idea of self play is just exactly what I've described previously. Like the bot trains against itself. And so I've actually figured out a way to employ that using the sort of testing framework that's in place within the Poke environment. And so definitely there's a lot of cleanup I want to do to this code, but I basically now have PPO bot 1 and PPO bot 2, where PPO bot 2 is set to always accept challenges from player 1, and PPO bot 1 is just going to always challenge player 2. And like the code changes aren't super complex, but basically it allows the two bots to challenge each other continually on this local server that I'm running. And they can train against each other on this network, and then they can also test against each other on this network. And so that's what I've been doing. I've had them training for 300,000 steps, and the output was here, actually, let me jump back up. So in this case, bot 1 performed better. It won 5,564 matches out of 11,273. And if we jump down to the performance testing, it won with a win rate of about 53%. So what I've done is I took the output from bot 1, I saved the network, and I loaded that into my PPO bot live. And I've actually had this training against real people. And it's been performing pretty well so far. So in the course of 10 battles, it had 5 wins and 5 losses. So even 500, but got to the ELO rating of 1134. So about on par with where it was previously. So yeah, it was just really cool to see that. I feel like the bot can learn pretty effectively against itself, and it's nice to see some stats kind of prove that. So again, this was where the bot trained against itself exactly. There were no differences into the inputs of either bot. So I think probably moving forward, that's going to be something I'm going to start to explore. Like if I give one bot inputs the other doesn't have, are they actually going to lead to a higher win rate in that bot? So it's probably what I'm going to look at next, but that's everything for now. So I'll keep you all posted with more updates.